Today on the Attic Chronicles, we're going to be talking about the history of the Goonies film score releases. This includes the official release, bootlegs, and more. Before I get started, I want to give a huge thank you to Eric Candiani. I hope I got your last name right. I am so sorry if I didn't. He was the original webmaster of thegoonies.com. He had some information on some of these releases I've got here, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know about them. He did a phenomenal job on that site in the 90s and early 2000s. He actually hid, I believe it was 9 songs throughout the website for people to somehow accidentally click on and discover. I don't know if I ever found any of it myself. I got on the Wayback Machine and looked through his old site not too long ago, and I found some of the information on what I'm going to show you today again, and when I went back to find it a couple days ago, I couldn't find it again. But Wayback Machine's just, saved pieces of websites. They're usually not complete. So with that said, let's get started. Our first release is Cinemagic. It's some pieces of David Grusin's work, and I believe this came out in 1987. The only song, this is the only official release from the movie, of the actual recording, is the Fratelli Chase, and here this booklet has some information on the different songs. Here's a look at the CD. When I bought this, I did not know that I wasn't getting the actual case. I also have this on cassette and vinyl, and I know that probably seems a bit excessive, but I got all 3 for, I think it was less than 25 bucks. Next up, we have Best of Adventure. This would serve as the source for some of these bootlegs. This is a re-recording of some of the music from the Goonies. This is a 2 CD set. I'm just going to show the first disc, which has the Goonies on it, because, well, the other disc looks the exact same. If we open the book, it gives a little bit of information about the songs. And they put all of the songs from these movies all on one track. So we've got a handful of Goonies songs on track 14. We have the Fratelli Chase film version, Goonies theme, Water Slide, Signature, Plumbing, One-Eyed Willie, Treasure, Goonies theme, and the reprise and Fratelli Chase original version. Up here it says world premiere recording performed by the City of Prague Philharmonic, except, there's some exceptions. Conducted by William Motzing. Is that how you say that? So, yes. And as I said, this was the basis for what I'm going to show you next. By the way, this was also, this and the Cinemagic one were mentioned on the original thegoonies.com. That's how I know about those. Next up is this, which I got off of a Goonies forum. It might have been the forum on thegoonies.com. There was some guy selling these online. I could have swore that I had a case with a track listing, but I may have lost it. I don't think I would have, though, because I hung on to this for dear life as a kid. I got this whenever I was in high school, and I rarely listened to it. I made like 2 or 3 copies of it to have later on, so that I would never, ever risk getting this thing messed up. Let me open this up. It's a really cool gold-looking disc. I know there's lights and stuff shining all over the place. It has, I think it's 12 songs. We're going to go over these later. Next up is a Japanese bootleg of the Goonies and Harry and the Hendersons. Apparently, Harry wasn't important enough to make the cover, but the Goonies were. We do not have any song titles. We have tracks 1 through 11 and tracks 1 through 11. So the Goonies starts at, track 12. Here's the disc. Here's the insert. There's no booklet. Harry did make it to the inside. Oh, I get it. I guess you can flip this around and it's a second cover. So you got to pick which one you like the most. So this CD is basically, as we'll hear later, a mirror of this CD. which, if I remember correctly, I went out and listened to these earlier. This is pretty much the same thing, too. There's very little difference between these three. Now, this is a pretty darn cool one. I discovered this at random on eBay from what I remember sometime between 1999 and 2001. It's another Japanese bootleg. It's printed on gold archive discs. And if you don't know what that is, an archive disc, I looked it up. It's supposed to last, these are supposed to last 300 years, which is pretty wild for a bootleg to go to all that trouble. In here we got a cool picture it's an image from the movie, but it's distorted to the point it almost looks like a painting. It might be a painting, I can't tell. And as you can see, there is an insane amount of songs on this, and we're going to listen to clips of these a little bit later. It's got some stuff on here you can't find on the official release. The second disc is basically the pop soundtrack, and every other track is some sound clip from the movie. And it has 2 remixes of Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough, and then it's got From the Sessions tracks, and then it's got percussion overlays. So From the Sessions, I didn't really listen to them a whole lot. I guess it might be outtakes. And someone on one of the Goonies Facebook groups that I'm in said that when this thing, if you bought it brand new, it came with either a gold coin or a gold doubloon. I got this used and it was $70, and it was $70 or $80 back when I first discovered it. And it's got a really cool booklet. I just cannot read Japanese. See, look at that. It's even got a like drawings about the traps, and then Mikey's contraption in the front yard. And it's got cast and crew credits on the back. I'm just going to take out one of these discs. It was kind of an expensive set, but they're really cool looking. They're supposed to be archive discs, but they're duplications. They're not replicated. There is a difference. And then in 2010, we finally got an official release. I didn't even know that they were going to come out with this. I would just always search eBay for the Goonies score, and this popped up. Now, this thing's still in print, but the original print was only 5,000 copies worldwide. I do happen to have one of those. And this is the actual film score that you hear in the movie. It's not a re-recording, it's not a bootleg. Here's what the disc looks like. There's that part of the book. The booklet to this is pretty cool because it's got a lot of information in it. I don't believe I've ever read all this, which is really weird. Usually whenever I get something special like this, the first thing I do is look through and read everything. But yeah, let's see here. Nobody wants to look at a bunch of words. Cool shot of Willie in there. Shot of the kids. I also have limited to 1,000 one of the Canary Yellow FYE exclusive vinyls, which I've never opened. I didn't realize it was that limited when I bought it. I just wanted this on vinyl. I'm out here in the car because I don't have a CD player in the house, and I'm just going to film this on my phone because it's got really good stereo mics on it. It's super windy out here today. These are the soundtracks I brought out to the car. My original, The Goonies and the Harry and the Hendersons. and the double disc. And the reason I brought these ones out is because this one I have no track listing for, and it's been a long time since I've listened to it, but I remember a lot of what's on there. This has no track listing. I do believe this will be the first time I've ever listened to this. And this one, even though it's got a ton of music on it, some of the music, I wonder how they got it. And I want to hear the sound quality of it. I know the first song is the Fratelli Chase theme. And the, yeah. Next, we got Harry and the Hendersons and the Goonies. Well, it was easy to tell where they got that music from. That was almost a mirror copy to that CD I've had for all those years. With, of course, I didn't have Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough on it. Now let's tear into the big double discer. I want to go straight to track 24 on the second disc, which is the last song on that disc. It's the song that I believe is called the Firmament and the Pirate Ship, or the Ship and the Firmament, something. It's the scene where Mr. Walsh starts to sign the papers and they find the jewels in Mikey's marble bag. It's called No Signing Today on this one. This is where they got some of this music from, as you'll see. It's just recorded straight from the movie. Listen.
Forgot to check it. See, I emptied out the marbles and I put the jewels in. We don't have to leave the Goonies.
I've seen, I know there's a bootleg for the movie Poison Ivy, the Drew Barrymore one, and I've always liked the music in that movie, that saxophone-y stuff, and I know on that bootleg it says may contain sound clips from the movie or something along those lines, so these guys aren't the only one guilty of this. All right, now I guess we will go through this track by track, the entire thing. I've never listened to this thing in its entirety either. I just wanted to collect these because they were items I couldn't find when I was younger, and every time I would, I didn't have the money for them. Going in. Disc 1 has some pretty neat stuff on it. Tracks 23, 24, and 25 say From the Sessions. And then numbers 26 and 27 are percussion overlays. Number 28's Giant Squid Fight. But the From the Sessions and percussion overlays, that's really cool. That's something I don't believe is on the official release. I'll have to go back and look. In fact, no, it's not. I've listened to the official release a million times. That's really cool. This is a really special bootleg, in my opinion. Now let's look at disc 2.
Shut up, Mom.
Listen, okay? You guys will never believe me. There's
One-Eyed Willie.
One-Eyed Willie. Yeah. Guys, what are we gonna do about that country club? It's killing our... I swear on my life, they've got it an it! Home? What home? And a couple more...
Now tell me where your other little friends are.
The fireplace.
Don't light it.
Say goodbye to the sky.
Yeah, but you know what? Chester Copperpot. Chester Copperpot.
Sure. Law.
Sloth.
As you could hear, that disc is it's part of the actual soundtrack, you know, the pop songs, and every other track is just some sound clip from the movie. There's 2 different remixes of Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool bootleg. I'm really glad I finally got a hold of it. After all these years, I wanted it when I got it on my 40th birthday, which was 4 years ago. So yeah, it was, I wanted it for about 20 years. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.